segments of our lives that simply need to be reformed, meaning we need to tweak a thing here, tweak a thing there, adjust a little bit, adjust something there, and, make a little, make a few adjustments and, make slight changes. There are certain things in our life that need to be reformed. But if we're honest about it, we have some segments of our lives that need to be completely blown up and transformed into something else. Because
what's happening, y'all? This is Mike D with Black Fathers Now, where we're bringing the village to the brothers. Every couple of weeks, you can look forward to a quick inspirational message or a thought-provoking guest with knowledge and wisdom, all geared towards helping you be the best father that you can be. We're bringing the village to you. Now it's your turn to do something with what you learned. All right, y'all. Let's go.
What's going on, fellas? This is Mike D, Mr. Double Down on You, your favorite personal development coach, with another episode of Black Fathers Now. Hope y'all are making the most of this moment, the most of this day, and are just doing the doggone thing, doing what you are supposed to do, doing what you are called to do. And if not, then guess what? Change it. And, speaking of change, speaking of just the spirit of change, I want to pose a question to you as a man, as a father figure, as a father, as a leader, as a husband, as a big brother, uncle, whatever your role is in life. I want to pose a question. Do the things in your life need to be transformed, or do they need to be reformed? Do the things in your life need to be transformed or reformed? And so when you think about the difference between transformation and reforming or tweaking or slightly adjusting, they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. And it's very interesting because, I'm reading a book, or I'm almost done with a book now. It's called The Sword and the Shield. And it's talking about, in essence, the characteristics that were similar and some of the philosophies that were different, but it's a very different spin on the relationship between Malcolm X and Martin Luther King by Dr. Peniel Joseph. Powerful book. Y'all need to grab it. But it was interesting because a lot of the individuals who were in the camp of Martin Luther King, initially, it was about reform, tweaking things, getting some of the laws changed and adjusting. Whereas a lot of individuals who were in the camp of Malcolm X were more so about transformation, like basically, in essence, blowing the system up and doing something totally different. That's what people would consider radical, right? And so I was thinking about that as I'm going through this book, but then I'm also thinking about our lives and how there are segments of our lives that simply need to be reformed, meaning we need to tweak a thing here, tweak a thing there, adjust a little bit, adjust something there, and, make a little, make a few adjustments and, make slight changes. There are certain things in our life that need to be reformed. But if we're honest about it, we have some segments of our lives that need to be completely blown up and transformed into something else, because what we're doing ain't working and it's not going in the right direction. But the cool thing about that is that when you look in the mirror and you understand that you are this complex being with good, bad, ugly, beautiful stuff that you want out front, stuff that you want to hide. You're this complex puzzle with all these different pieces. Once you recognize and accept that, then it's okay for you to then go through different segments of your life and recognize what needs to be reformed and what needs to be completely transformed. Because all of us have aspects of our lives that need a little bit of both. Now, on the flip side, some of us have things in our lives that are good, right? It's like, hey, I go through the different pieces of my life and I'm like, hey, this right here, this is actually hitting on all cylinders. I'm good with that one right now. I'll, come back a little later and see if I need to tweak it, but I'm good there. But other aspects of our lives need either reform or we need to completely transform them and blow it up and do something else. And again, we need to give ourselves the grace and the space to not look at the whole totality of our life and say our whole life needs to be completely blown up and, flipped. No. We're talking about segments or pieces of your life. Because again, if you start viewing yourself as this big jigsaw puzzle where there are all these different pieces and places that, that are needed to come together to basically form who you are, then you can start going piece by piece. And then you don't get into this whole I'm a failure or I'm a screw up. No. You may have been a failure in this particular activity. You may have screwed up in this particular thing. You may have messed up this particular relationship. That doesn't mean your total life is messed up, right? On the flip side, we have to take the bad. We also got to look at the good. Just because I won in this particular business venture doesn't mean that I'm going to win in the next one. Just because this investment, went from, 5,000 to 500,000 doesn't mean that my next investment will do that. I'm not talking about me personally. I'm just saying, giving examples here. Okay. But that doesn't mean that everything you touch is going to be golden, right? We have to be honest about it. But that's why the segments or the aspects of our life or the pieces of our life, we need to comb through them and always be on the lookout for what needs to be transformed and what needs to be reformed. But the big key is once you find out what needs to be done, have the testicular fortitude to do it. Yeah, I paused there for a reason. Because a lot of us have the playbooks. A lot of us have the keys. A lot of us have the steps that need to be taken. But the reality is, a lot of us don't have the balls to take those steps. JayZ said in a line from What More Can I Say long time ago, he had a line that was profound. He said, far from a Harvard student, just had the balls to do it. So for all of us out there, some of us may be Harvard or Howard or Tuskegee or Payne College students. We may be, highly intellectual individuals, right? But the question is, once you get the playbook, once you understand what needs to change, what needs to be improved, do you have the balls to make those changes? A lot of us have the tools, like literally. A lot of us have the resources. A lot of us have the playbook. I know what I need to do to get in better shape. Do you have the balls to do what it needs to be done? I know the steps it takes to create this marketing plan. Are you going to take the steps in that plan to boost your business? I know what it takes to, please my wife in regards to our relationship and us talking and giving her what she needs, as a husband and do this and do that. But am I willing to take the steps to be that husband, to give her what she needs, to be there to listen, to comfort, to communicate in a way that she understands? Again, we have to think about that. And these are aspects of our lives when we start combing through it. Some things just need to be reformed, tweaked a little bit. Other things need to be completely blown up and transformed. But that's going to be on you, because you can have all the information where they say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. My challenge to y'all is once you get to the water, I want you to actually take a drink. Once you understand what needs to be done, I want you to actually do it. Because, a lot of times what you come to realize is it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be. We build up in our head that this is going to be some challenging, monumental, big deal thing. But usually that's just us talking about it. We need to go and do it. All right. So go through your life. Go through the segments of your life. What needs to be reformed, but what needs to be transformed. And once you realize what needs to be done, fellas, go do it. All right. Well, hey, as always, make sure to subscribe, leave ratings, leave comments, share this thing out. The goal of Black Fathers Now is to impact 1 million current and future Black father figures from around the world to step into life on the level that they're supposed to live life and impact the world in a way that that legacy is going to be left, right? Like, that's the whole goal of this thing. And I need your help by sharing this thing out. So make sure to hit share, and at least 5. If you can get 5 brothers to check this thing out, I would be greatly appreciated. So if each person listening to this can get 5, and we can keep doing that, we're going to hit our goal of impacting 1 million people. And we're on our way. So anyway, until next time, y'all be blessed, well, and wise, and I'll holler at you. Peace.
Yo, fellas, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And always visit blackfathersnow.com, as well as follow Black Fathers Now on virtually every social media platform you can think of. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Just follow us and engage with us, man. Look forward to hearing from you. And I guess until next time, I'll holler at you. Peace.